Things do not look good for humanity in alternate history 1950s America. Despite your heroic efforts as Nathan Hale in Resistance: Fall of Man and Resistance 2, the my what big teeth you have Chimeran hordes have overrun the nation, and Resistance 3's campaign once again paints a stirring picture of an all but complete invasion. Developer Insomniac Games has proven their ability to deliver invigorating and challenging action, and they do it again here in an exciting campaign that boasts one of the most diverse and deadly arsenals around. You can play the whole affair cooperatively with another player, online or off, and while this is a welcome addition, it's a shame that the fantastic class-based co-op from Resistance 2 does not make a return. Fortunately, the competitive multiplayer doles out intense firefights and intriguing rewards aplenty, and it's fun to combine the unique arsenal and potent abilities to wreak havoc on your fellow human. Resistance 3's strengths far outweigh its shortcomings, making this another great entry in this sci-fi shooter franchise. If you finish the Resistance 2 campaign, then you're bound to remember a guy named Joseph Capelli. Well, after getting himself dishonorably discharged from the military, Joe gets married, has a kid, and settles down in a lengthy network of tunnels underneath a bombed-out suburban neighborhood. Typical grown-up stuff. Joe's home is one of a few hidden communities that you encounter throughout the campaign, and they are all thoughtful and evocative glimpses of how humans might cling together in the midst of catastrophe.
I wouldn't keep Dale waiting. You know how he gets.
The environments are richly detailed and nicely varied, and along with some intriguing scientific notes about the Chimera, they provide much of the character for the campaign, as Joe himself isn't exactly a strong leading man. The campaign moves along at a good clip for the most part, though there are some abrupt leaps and odd detours. Resistance 3 manages to maintain momentum throughout these sections, but it falters a bit when you reach the final area, making the conclusion less climactic than it could have been. Still, the action is great throughout, which makes it a sincere pleasure to play. Your enemies are aggressive, numerous, and varied, forcing you to read the battlefield, maneuver smartly, and adapt your tactics accordingly. You face a lot of enemies, and ammunition isn't exactly plentiful, so you need to leverage your entire arsenal to survive. Fortunately, the guns of Resistance 3 are some of the best in the business. Tried and true favorites like the Bullseye, Auger, and Magnum return early on, but as you progress you get some new treats that can freeze, electrocute, and even mutate your enemies. Each weapon has a secondary fire that can be as simple as a grenade launcher or as sinister as a miniature singularity. Furthermore, every gun levels up as you use it, making it more deadly and sometimes granting auxiliary bonuses. Flaming shotgun rounds, anyone? Don't mind if I do. There's no limit to how many weapons you can carry with you, and Resistance 3 forces you to put them all to work. It's not uncommon to exhaust your ammunition for multiple weapons during an intense firefight, so you sometimes have to make do with a less than optimal firearm. This engenders a sense of improvisation that's augmented by the fact that your health does not regenerate automatically. Health pickups are fairly plentiful, but there are still many times when the Chimera are bearing down on you and you are low on health, ammo, or both. The tension this creates makes blasting your way through the campaign all the more thrilling. Though if you're taking a friend along for the ride, you should consider upping the difficulty level. Whether online or split screen, having another gun by your side makes things a bit easier and creates some slack in the otherwise taut action. There's no cooperative matchmaking, however, so you have to find your own companion, and alas, the class-based cooperative awesomeness of Resistance 2 is nowhere to be found. Campaign co-op is a welcome addition, however, especially when the campaign is as good as it is here. The changes to competitive multiplayer are also very welcome. The manic 60-player matches from Resistance 2 have been capped at 16, making for a much tighter experience. The great environmental design from the campaign carries over to the various maps, and while some are certainly prettier than others, they all have diverse routes that allow you to move around the battlefield and hopefully catch your enemy unaware. In addition to Deathmatch and Team Deathmatch, there are a few familiar objective-based modes, including Capture the Flag, Capture the Territory, and Destroy or Defend some things. It's kind of a bummer that there aren't more creative or dynamic modes here, but your arsenal and abilities more than make up for it. You get to use a lot of weapons from the campaign here, and though the ones available early on are fairly basic, You gain access to more interesting ones by leveling up. You gain XP in the usual ways, with bonus ribbons granting bonus experience for notable battlefield actions. As you unlock new weapons, it's fun to put them to work on your enemies, but even if you're still a ways from unlocking one you particularly like, you can always grab it from a fallen foe. You automatically pick up any weapon you walk over, and like in the campaign, there's no limit to how many you can hold. This makes staying alive longer an even more enticing goal, because your arsenal can grow substantially and make you that much deadlier. If you manage to string a few kills together, you can earn a berserk power that might turn you invisible, give you a big protective shield, grant you the holy crap it shoots through walls auger weapon, or even mutate you into a hulking warrior with a nasty grenade launcher type thingy. You can also leverage your suite of abilities to make you a more powerful competitor. Some of the bonuses are passive, like increased ammo and quicker aim speed, while some must be activated, like a bubble shield or ammo beacon. Those examples probably sound familiar to those acquainted with online multiplayer shooters, but what about a projected image of yourself that runs alongside you, or the ability to see your enemy's recent footsteps? There are even some higher level abilities that actively hamstring you by decreasing your sprint speed or limiting your arsenal in exchange for richer XP rewards. There's some cool stuff going on here that helps distinguish Resistance 3's competitive multiplayer as an intriguing and rewarding way to spend hours of your online time. That success, paired with the atmospheric and challenging campaign, make Resistance 3 a great shooter. Both modes may have their limitations, but the action here is undeniably exciting. Whether you're storming a Chimeran squad with blood in your eyes, hoping you can freeze them all solid before they take your last slivers of health, or tracking an enemy, tagging him, and watching him vainly try to flee the bullets that follow him around corners, Resistance 3 offers a brand of excitement you won't find anywhere else.